Hi everybody, my name's Jason.
I'm Caden.
And we are the Yahuwah and the Torah YouTube channel, Rumble channel, and Odyssey. And we are on a preparation day. Can we get a drum roll, please? All right, that means tomorrow's a Shabbat. Yay! All right, from sunset tonight to sunset tomorrow is a day of rest to our Creator. That means we don't do any work, we don't do any cleaning, we relax, we take care of our minds, we take care of our bodies, we take care of our souls. And the Shabbat is a mark of the people of our Creator. That's how you can tell is if you are beginning your covenant walk, is that you are beginning your walk into the Shabbat. And so if you guys aren't keeping a Sabbath day, we hope that you guys do. And so this is the very first chapter of Aḍam and Ḥawwah, the second book. And how you doing, Kate?
Good.
Everything good? Mm-hmm. All right. And so for those who do not know who we are we, Kate?
We are the people that believe that the laws, statutes, commands, the first 5 books of the Bible, are for all generations, that we should be keeping the Torah, that we should be keeping the commands, that we should be doing as it said, and that it was not done away with, and that if you are doing away with it, you are just basically slapping our Creator in the face and just putting our Messiah back on the cross when you say, it's not a way that I can do as I want, I'll just be forgiven.
And who's our Messiah?
Our Messiah is Yahushua, that is his son. He was born from Mary and his stepfather?
Yeah,
Would it be stepfather?
It would be his father. Mosquito on my head that's biting my head. That's great. Thank you very much for getting that off of me. The bloodsucker on my head. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't be his biological father, but it would be his. He's
the son of Mary and Joseph.
That's son of Mary and Joseph.
But he is the actual physical, spiritual son.
Yeah, and he's also our high priest. He is also our ruler. He is going to come back. He's going to deliver us. And there will be a second Exodus. And, you know, we're in the world right now, in the world of, when 2019 and 2020 rolled around, and there could very well be no flesh left here in just a little bit. And so our Messiah could very well be here any day, any time. And we were told of the foolish virgins, and we were told of the wise virgins, the ones that had their oil, and their oil was trimmed, it was all ready to roll. And for those who are not ready, you're not going to be ready if you are not in covenant. If you are not in covenant with our Creator, that means you are not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments that are found in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And so this is our hope and this is our dream. Let me turn up my brightness just a little bit before we begin. All right, let us begin. The second book of Aḍam and Ḥawwah. When Lulawa heard Cain's words, she wept to her father and mother and told them how that Cain had killed his brother Hevel. Then they all cried aloud and lifted up their voices and slapped their faces and threw dust upon their heads and rent asunder their garments and went out and came to the place where Hevel was killed. And they found him lying on the earth, killed, and beasts around him, while they wept and cried because of this just one. From his body, by reason of his purity, went forth a smell of sweet spices. That's a little different That's a little different than the corpses of today, definitely. And Aḍam carried him, his tears streaming down his face, and went to the cave of treasures where he laid him, and wound him up with sweet spices and myrrh. And Aḍam and Ḥawwah continued by the burial of him in great grief 140 days. Hevel was 15 and a half years old, and Cain 17 years and a half. So we have a little bit of understanding as far as what the ages of these guys were, and that's something you don't get in scriptures at all. 6. As for Cain, when the mourning for his brother was ended, he took his sister Lulawa and married her, without leave from his father and mother, for they could not keep him from her, by reason of their heavy heart. He then went down to the bottom of the mountain, away from the garden, near the place where he had killed his brother. And in that place were many fruit trees and forest trees. His sister bare him children, who in their turn began to multiply by degrees until they filled that place. But as for Aḍam and Ḥawwah, they came not together after Hevel's funeral for 7 years. After this, however, Ḥawwah conceived. While she was with child, Aḍam said to her, Come, let us take an offering and offer it up unto Elohim, and ask him to give us a fair child, in whom we may find comfort, and whom we may join in marriage to Hevel's sister. Then they prepared an offering, and brought it up to the altar, and offered it before Yahuwah, and began to entreat him to accept their offering, and to give them a good offspring. And Elohim heard Aḍam, and accepted his offering. Then they worshipped Aḍam. Then they worshipped Aḍam and Ḥawwah and their daughter, and came down to the cave of treasures and placed a lamp in it to burn by night and by day before the body of Hevel.
Do you have like an 11 in the middle of?
It is over there. But since we're actually going to be replacing this book with a easier one when we actually when we put out our manuscript, I didn't even mess with it today. And so there's actually one. So 11 is 12, 13, 14. So, but it doesn't matter. Then Aḍam and Ḥawwah continued fasting and praying until Ḥawwah's time came that she should be delivered. When she said to Aḍam, I wish to go to the cave in the rock to bring forth in it. And he said, Go and take with thee thy daughter to wait on thee, but I will remain in this cave of treasures before the body of my son Hevel. Then
His body in the cave still?
His body is in the cave of treasures. They brought it to the cave of treasures.
But they didn't bury it?
They did not bury it. You don't remember this book?
I don't remember this book very well.
It's it stays in the cave of treasures, and it's
weird.
It is very weird.
Honestly.
It is very weird. But there's a lot more to the story. Okay, 13. Then Ḥawwah hearkened to Aḍam and went, she and her daughter. But Aḍam remained by himself in the cave of treasures. All right, we're going to do chapter 2, and then we will call it a reading for today. And here we go. And Ḥawwah brought forth a son, perfectly beautiful in figure and in countenance. His beauty was like that of his father Aḍam, yet more beautiful. Then Ḥawwah was comforted when she saw him, and remained 8 days in the cave. Then she sent her daughter unto Aḍam to tell him to come and see the child and name him. But the daughter stayed in his place by the body of her brother until Aḍam returned. So did she.
You think she knew the rules of how like childbirth was? Like you're supposed to like to be unclean for like a certain amount of days. If it was male, a certain amount of days. Because she stayed in the cave for 8 days, which like would basically be like the first like period of uncleanness after birth, right?
Yeah, and then they have 40 days as well, where before they go and wash, and so they are starting to learn a lot of this stuff, I think. But yeah, they the one thing is they don't leave the body of Hevel. Okay.
They're probably afraid Satan's gonna steal it. I think.
Or they're just in because Satan. Who knows what Satan has. Okay. But when Aḍam came and saw the child's good looks, his beauty, and his perfect figure, he rejoiced over him and was comforted for Hevel. Then he named the child Shête. That means that Elohim has heard my prayer and has delivered me out of my affliction. But it means also power and strength. Then after Aḍam had named the child, he returned to the cave of treasures, and his daughter went back to her mother. But Ḥawwah continued to her cave until 40 days were fulfilled, when she came to Aḍam, and brought with her the child and her daughter. And they came to a river of water, where Aḍam and his daughter washed themselves because of their sorrow for Hevel. But Ḥawwah and the babe washed for purification. Then they returned, and took an offering, and went to the mountain and offered it up for the babe. And Elohim accepted their offering, and sent his blessing upon them, and upon their son Sheth. And they came back to the cave of treasures. As for Aḍam, he knew not again his wife Ḥawwah all the days of his life, neither was any more offspring born of them, but only those 5, Cain, Luluah, Hevel, Achiliah, and Sheth alone. But Sheth waxed in stature and in strength, and began to fast and pray fervently. All right, everybody, that concludes our reading for the day. We hope that you guys have a wonderful preparation day. We hope that you guys are truly in the word of our Creator. And we hope, you guys find the kingdom path. And the kingdom path is that based in Torah and the faith of Messiah Yahushua. Have a wonderful day.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Much love.